Hey, welcome back to Already Overbooked, and today we're going to be doing our December TBR. And I decided I wanted to change things up a little bit and put some rules on myself. For December, there's going to be no new series, no standalone stories, no exceptions. And the reason I'm doing this is because throughout the year, I've gone through and read some amazing series that I have not gone through and continued. So there are some fantastic books with amazing characters, amazing worlds. I've talked about a lot of these multiple times on the channel, but I've only read book one. So this is that time where I want to go through and jump back into these characters, jump back into this world, and really give it the attention it deserves. So December is going to be my month of catching up and continuing on some fantastic series. So let's go through and jump into the first book I'm going to go through and read, and that is By the Sword by F. Paul Wilson. And in this one, Jack is ending up in the middle of another strange and supernatural trouble, but this time it's connected to a Japanese artifact, assassins, and then that growing cosmic mythology. But it's, just like every other story, it's been building up a lot in the background. I mention this a lot, and I really love how F. Paul Wilson balances those pulpy fun with dark conspiracies. So I'm excited to jump into this one. We are pushing through this series, and I think there's only a few books left. So I am waiting for some amazing, intense things that F. Paul Wilson is going to be throwing at us at the end of the series. And I'm really curious how he's going to go and tie this knot together. So, By the Sword by F. Paul Wilson. The next book I'm going to go through and read is Foot in the Grave by Zachary and Joshua Forbes. This is the next book in the Continuum series. If you've read the first one, you know exactly what to expect with this one. It's going to have chaos. It's going to have paranormal. It's going to have a bunch of snarky dialogue and a ton of weird energy. It's going to be fast. It's going to be fun, full of character moments that make it stand out. I am super excited to go through and continue this fantastic series because I had too much fun in this book. So, Foot in the Grave by the Forbes brothers. The next book I'm going to be going into is one of my favorite books that I went through and read in 2025. And so I am too excited to jump back into the hybrid helix world with Return of the Griffin. So this one, if you're not familiar with the Wistful Ascending, it has so much humor, heart, and it's a different perspective of just that normal superhero trope where this character has so much humanization to him, and I love it so much. So I'm expecting this book to raise that emotional stakes while also keeping it with its charm that it was so addictive in book one. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen to Rowan in this one. But yeah, like I mentioned, Rowan and Wistful and Hybrid Helix is easily becoming my favorite series, not just in the sci-fi genre. So super excited to jump into Return of the Griffin. The next one is an ebook. I don't have the physical copy, but this one is going to be Cry Havoc by Jack Carr. This is the next James Reese thriller. So this one is supposed to be a prequel to the series. It promises big stakes. I've heard it has a lot of political firepower behind it, and then obviously with Jack Carr's background, always gives these books that authenticity that I love. He has the tactical realism, he has the military insights, and he has that personal experience of the going to war and that type of intensity. So I'm super excited to jump into this series to kind of see what Jack Carr can do with a different leading character in this one. So excited to jump into Cry Havoc by Jack Carr. Next one is another ebook that I went through and got a few months ago. And this is Alone Together Factions by the great S.S. Fitzgerald. Now, this is a continuation of Alone Together, which dives deeper into the factions and world politics hinted at in book one. This is a character-driven story with a lot of heart, and Sean's writing style blends a lot of this introspection with external tension perfectly. And this one's been in my my top of mind for a while since I went through and finished book one. So I'm super excited to finally get to this in December. I feel like it's the perfect time to really jump back into this series because I think Sean is getting ready to put out book 3 in 2026. So it's this perfect time for me to get to this one to be ready for book 3 when it comes out sometime in 2026. The next one is Kill the Dead by Richard Kadrey. So we're going back to the Sandman Slim universe. I think it's called Sandman Slim. Yeah, Sandman Slim universe. If you missed my talks about the first one, I'll go through and put the link up here so you can go through and watch my review of the first one. But this is a story that's I'm expecting even darker humor. There's going to be demons. There's going to be unapologetic grit to this. And this story goes through and follows Slim's chaotic return to Earth and seeing what else is going to come up, because what happened at the end of book 1, there was a huge cliffhanger with how is the world going to react to what happened. So I'm super excited to see what happens next in this amazing world by Richard Kadrey. I am hoping to continue this series all in 2026 and get caught up, because I think he has a new one coming out in 2026 or early of 2027. So I'm going to be caught up. So when that new book comes out, I can read it right along with everybody. So Kill the Dead by the great Richard Kadrey is on my December TBR. The final book is an audiobook by the great Stephen Fry, and this is Odyssey, and I am super excited to finish this trilogy out. So this is the Fry's Mythos and Heroes, and this one is a retelling of the most iconic stories in Western literature of the Greek mythology story of the Odyssey. And what I'm also excited about is there's the movie that's coming out as well. So this is the perfect time to go through and listen to this story and then compare it to the movie when it goes through and comes out. So I'm super excited to go through and jump into this. I'm a huge fan of Stephen Fry. His wit, his intense research he does in his stories are so much fun. So I'm expecting this one to be just as great, if not even better, than the other stories in his Mythos and Heroes stories. So that's my December TBR. All the series continuations I want to go through and finish, or continue, because most of these are just book 2. And so yeah, it feels great to close out 2025 revisiting characters and universes I've loved before heading into the new year and jumping into some new and exciting books that I plan on getting into in 2026. So if you're also trying to clear out some series backlogs, let me know what you're continuing this month. If not, if you're starting something new, I would love to hear that as well. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Until I see you in the next one, stay overbooked.